As we begin to explore our faith and talk together about what we believe in, there are some very basic questions we each need to address. Do we believe in good and evil? Do we believe in sin? Do we believe that the world is basically good with moments of suffering? Or do we believe that the world in reality is hard and suffering is great, but on occasion there are moments of joy? Throughout the history of America, we have built generation upon generation, each one getting better and better, but then on occasion, we've had our Black Mondays and our Black Fridays. According to President Wilson, before World War I, we lived in a world of isolationism. We were different from Europe and Russia and Asia because we had these great oceans that protected us. But then with World War II and the bombing of Pearl Harbor, with 9/11, we came to realize that we are vulnerable. We are human. We're mortal. And we became very afraid of airplanes and disasters that might take place. It is like Job, asking, if we expect great miracles and awe and wonder in life, should we not also expect to have some days of disappointment? On the other hand, for the last several weeks, fires have burned out of control across California. In New Orleans, they're up to the rooftops with flooding. It's spread as well across parts of Texas, and this is the second time in the last dozen years. There are those in the congregation and community who suffer with chronic illnesses that never get better, but live from one day to the next in severe pain. And on occasion, they're able to celebrate a birthday or an anniversary, but even this, with pain and suffering. So do we believe that the world is basically good and wonderful with moments of crisis? Or do we believe that the world is basically hard and difficult for us with moments of joy? C.S. Lewis, trying to describe the nature of sin, envisioned in a science fiction trilogy that there was an astronaut who explored the furthest reaches of the universe and came to discover that America was seen as corrupt, as a wasteland, as broken. He tried to explain to the creatures on other planets who didn't have a word for sin what had happened to the planet Earth. And finally, he arrived at the word bent, that we want to see each other eye to eye. We want to see things as they are. We want to look through a microscope at the tiniest particles of an atom. We want to look through the Hubble telescope at the greatest reaches of the universe. But the reality is that we see in a mirror dimly, and not face to face, not eye to eye. We look through a bent world. Our world is distorted through our prejudices, through our perspectives, and whether we see the world as basically good or whether we see the world as basically evil. These are questions we have to explore as we open the scriptures and begin to explain what we believe in, what we value, and what our ethics are as we live together in the world God has created.